Good morning. Welcome to the Windward Buddhist Temple Spring Ohigan and Remembrance Service. My name's Jennifer Kane, and I will be your MC this morning. We will begin with the ringing of the temple bell, or kansho, that signifies the beginning of a temple service. It is a deep and sacred ritual steeped in ancient tradition. It is the calling of the people to come together and listen to the Dharma or teachings. The temple bell represents the gratitude and deep appreciation of the members, friends, and guests of Windward Buddhist Temple. Please sit quietly in your seat. Please rise for the meditation, followed by the chanting of Vandana Ti-Sarana by the congregation in Pali and English, which can be found on page 7 in your red Jodo Shinshu book. Please be seated.
On this occasion of the Windward Buddhist Temple's annual observance of the spring Ohigan, we're gathered here together to adorn the shrine of Amida Buddha, to offer incense, chant the sacred writings, and deepen our understanding of the Buddha Dharma. During the spring equinox, when the hours of the day and night are equal, the sun symbolically rises in the east and sets in the west towards the direction of the Pure Land. We gather to listen and meditate upon the teachings of the Buddha Dharma as clarified and transmitted to us by Shinran Shonin. Namo Amida Butsu. Amida Butsu.
Reverend Burt will now chant the Sanbutsuge, which can be found in the Jodo Shinshu Red Service Book on page 9. You can remain in your seats.
Of Amida Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, and all the Buddhas of the 10 directions to this memorial service. Namo Amida Butsu.
We will now have remembrance for those who passed away this month in any year. individuals, and pets. Reverend Bert will hit the gong, the daikin, several times to start this portion of the service. Then the names of the deceased will be announced. Please go forward to offer incense. Then Reverend Bert will hit the gong again for each name. After the last name is called and incense is offered, he will hit the gong several times. We will then go directly into the Sutra, Sanbutsuge, in the red Jodo Shinshu service book on page 47. Masao Asada and Taichi Nishita. Wally and Miyoko Kusano. Howard Nakamura. Sorry, Howard Nakamura. Masatsune Arakaki and Evelyn Kuwata. Sadaye Nishimoto. Lina Benavides.
Monsieur
please rise for the recitation of our pledge. The words are found on the screen. Reaching out to others, I will share a smile and gentle words. Just like the Buddha, who always calls out with aloha, breaking away from my greed, anger, and ignorance, I will try to live in peace and harmony. Just like the Buddha, who shares tranquility and kindness with all. Moving forward from self-centeredness, I will share a life of joy and sorrow with others. Just like the Buddha, whose caring heart always embraces us. Realizing that I live because of others, I will strive to live life to the fullest with an attitude of gratitude, just like the Buddha, who promises to embrace us all. Namandas, namandas. Please continue to stand for the Gatha on this morn in the brown pages of the Buddha book on page 119. Please be seated. Our Dharma talk this morning is our guest speaker for Spring Ohigan Remembrance Service, Reverend Alan Urasaki, who is an assistant minister at Shinshu Kyokai Mission of Hawaii. Reverend Barbara Brennan will introduce Reverend Urasaki.
We're so lucky to have Reverend Alan Urasaki with us this morning. You know, I remember years ago we were at a Dharma school teachers meeting, and he was there considering going into the ministry. So he's really come a long way. He was an active member of the Junior YBA, which is the Young Buddhist Association, for those of you who don't know. He was at Hilo Betsuin. While attending the University of Hawaii at Manoa, majoring in communication, Reverend Allen served on the first YES camp committee. YES means Young, Enthusiastic Shinshu Seekers, And it was a camp which brought all the young people together. Normally it was, I think, out at Kaneohe's YMCA camp. And so it gave the young people a chance to get to know each other in a different way. In 1989, after attaining a master's degree in education from UH, he decided to pursue the ministry. So that was 1989, and this is 2023, so I didn't figure it out, sorry. Anyway, it's been a while. So he did receive his Tokudo in Japan in 1991, and he was a Kaikyo Shiho, or minister's aide, at Betsuin. After a year of on-the-job training, he returned to Kyoto to receive his kyoshi, or his teaching credential. He was now a full-fledged minister. He was assigned as an associate minister of the Hawaii Betsuin in 1992 and December of 1995. He was assigned as resident minister of Aiea Hongwanji, where he served until 2002. He left the ministry in 2002 to become a chaplain at the Federal Bureau of Prisons at the airport. And so he just retired from that after 20 years. And now he is part-time minister at Shinshu Kyokai, which is on Veritania Street. It doesn't say here, but I know he has 2 children. I think they're older already. I remember when they were little, so maybe he could clarify that. But welcome, Reverend Urasaki.
Well, good morning, everyone. Namaste. Or as we say, ohayo gozaimasu. You know, for me, it's always a pleasure, more than a pleasure, kind of a, I hate to always use this Joy's name, but a joy to be here. No pun intended. But thank you all for inviting me here as sensei and sensei. Now, and so I remember when Reverend Brennan was just Mrs. Brennan, Barbara, long ago. She was just mom. But thank you for, again, inviting me on this Spring Higan and Remembrance Day. You know, I'm always, I'm really thankful that, I was going to say Kailua, but Windward Buddhist Temple has the technology, you know, that's kind of modern, up-to-date technology, because the handout and my talk that I stayed up all night to do, I forgot on my kitchen table this morning. So I had to call my son as I was driving over. You know, I was already past the tunnel, so I cannot, this point of no return, right? So I called up my son and I said, can you take a picture of those, you know, my papers and send it to me? So he took a picture on his phone and texted it to me. And so when I came here, I thought I would have to handwrite, you know, copy everything. And I thought about reading it off my phone, even though it's big like this. I don't know how young people can do it. Like my kids, they can read their talks or whatever just from their iPhone or their phone. But me, I need big words like this size, right? So, thank you, Ryan, for, you know, airdropping the photos and getting it off on the printer and be printed for you, or else I'd be just rambling up here for 20 minutes. But anyway, we observe Higan, which is, as you all know, one of the Hongwanji's major services that we held. It's a time when there is harmony in the universe, when day and night are equal in length, and I think it's, is it tomorrow or the 21st? Maybe 21st. And so, as Sensei said, the sun rises in the east, sets in the west, a time for reflection, to recall, and really a time that we practice the 6 Paramitas. So I pass all of you a handout. Do all of you have this handout? Anyone not have it? Just I have extras, so if you need, okay, that's good. So I'm not going to really go in it directly, but just to recap, the 6 Paramitas, as printed here, is Dana, generosity, Shila, self-discipline, Shanti, patience, Vidya, diligence, Dhyana, meditation, and Prajna, wisdom. Well, I should be looking at this camera over here. And so Higan is the opportunity to think on the harmony of nature, and in turn we think about the harmony, or maybe the unharmony or the disharmony in our lives, as we go throughout our life. And so Higan is an opportunity to think about all of those things. The Japanese word Higan comes from the Sanskrit word for paramita, which is often we translate it as other shore. And so we are, when we think about other shore, where is that? Is that the sandbar in Kaninoi Bay, or, Alawai Canal? But no, it's, the other shore means, enlightenment, or nirvana, the pure land. And so if you think about, we're on this shore, our life, our human life, and we think about the other shore, other religions, they talk about heaven, or heaven and earth, or whatever. And so the other shore meaning really the pure land. And so the 6 Paramitas teach us essential, the Buddhist way of life that we all should be trying to follow each and every day. By putting the Paramitas into practice, we are expressing our gratitude and thanks to Amida Buddha. And so Higan really is a chance for us to again hear and listen to the Dharma. And so if this sounded familiar, it came from your newsletter for this month. So you can, basically read my sermon from your newsletter, or actually your letter is my, newsletter is my sermon, anyway. But we also observe Remembrance Day. And I think besides Higan, Remembrance Day is really important for us as Jodo Shinshu followers, because we think of those who have now crossed over to the other shore, those who have gone to the Pure Land. And so for today, we observe those who've passed away in our life in the month of March. So our family, our friends, our loved ones, our ohana, maybe temple members that have gone. All of them now serve as a kind of a guide for us, a fellow traveler, those who help us, point us in direction of the other shore. And really, it is showing us the way, to live a life of Nembutsu. So we take this opportunity to recognize all who have passed, because as Shinran has stated, that all beings have been fathers and mothers, brothers and sisters in the timeless process of birth and death. And it is because of this that our monthly Remembrance Day is so important. As Reverend Brennan was making the introduction, I was just thinking about, she talked about Yes Camp. And the one the person who really started Yes Camp was Reverend Sandy, Reverend Sandra Hiramatsu, who for a long time was here at, well, then Kailua, Hongwanji, right? And really, she was kind of the main person why I became a minister. And so today, I also express my gratitude, in remembrance of her and being in this place in Kailua. And as I thought about it, it's like, I don't know why it popped into my head, but I was thinking, where did that altar go from the old temple? The one that was hidden in the wall, right there. But I digress. And so, Higan, the Six Paramitas, is very important that we try to practice these things. Maybe not like practicing golf or baseball or practicing piano. We see the kind of importance in practicing, right? Doing things. You can ask Kuki, how many years has he been playing golf? Probably twice as long as Tiger Woods, but I'm not sure if, Kuki can beat Tiger Woods, right? So, so we all have our own way practicing, but as long as we keep on trying and doing those things. So the Six Paramitas, on our forum, just briefly go over each of these paramitas that we can practice. And as I said earlier, okay, let me just see what happened to all my papers. So as since Higan comes twice a year, we always kind of go over them, right? Twice a year. Maybe that's why it's important. So the first one, generosity or dana, giving dana, selfless giving. That gives us a sense of self-worth, that we have something to contribute to others. Helping also helps us to avoid or get out of our own problems. To give without expecting anything in return, to give freely with a heart of compassion. Shila, by the way, if you look on the handout, it also has the Hawaiian, or as they say, Olelo Hawaii, the Hawaiian, translation or word, so makana. Since we all are kind of being more sensitive, right, to our place, where we live. So I just thought of it the other night. So, let me put that in, makana. And so self-discipline, or shila, huikala, giving up what is not good and developing what is good. So giving up what is not good, for me, there's 5 things I should be giving up, as my doctor says, right? Salt, sugar, coffee, tobacco, alcohol. I can give up one of these. Right. And developing what is good. What should I be eating? Fruits, vegetables, right? Fish, right? Those things. Not Krispy Kreme donuts or things, right? So, Shanti, patience. For me, or ahonui, patience is always helps us, calm, in a way, have an even keel, right? We don't get so excited or, wound up when things happen. My wife is kind of the opposite of that. Well, she's a teacher, so yeah, what do you expect? But having patience, or maybe with me, maybe she doesn't have patience with me, helps us, when things happen, and like when you're driving in traffic, patience. Vidya, diligence, or ho'ao, diligence. We can also call it perseverance, right? That we keep on doing those things and, never giving up. Yeah, always trying, increasing those, developing those good qualities. Dhyana, meditation, or nalu, calm the mind and it helps to increase our concentration when we do that. Develop these qualities, and we can now kind of see things more clearly when we do have this kind of concentration. And prajna, or nawao, wisdom, that we can now, with that more concentration, deep meditation, we can see things as they are. 99% of the time we see things how we want to see them, and hardly see these things as they are, unless it hits us in the face, right? Reminds us that we're just a human being. And in all of these things, we do them as we continue to practice them. Not only it will benefit us, but it also benefit others, benefit all beings. And so these paramitas remind us of how we should express our gratitude in everyday life. Applying the 6 paramitas in our daily life is our way of expressing our gratitude and thanks to the Buddha. So I challenge you now on the back side. So this is your homework, because, coming to temple or maybe even being a Buddhist is not just a Sunday thing. You come to temple, it's like school, right? You go to school, why do they give you homework, right? Not so, you have more work to do, but to practice, right? Practice. And so, one day, or you could probably do all 6 every day, up to you. But if you want to start out on Monday, the practice of dana or makana. On Tuesday, try practicing, or not practice, but realize what kind of shila or self-discipline you had that day. If you put it on the refrigerator and this thing is staring you in the eye, you're not going to open the door to grab that pastry or that Krispy Kreme donut. It's going to remind you, okay, self-discipline. On Wednesday, the practice of patience. Aho nui. Yeah. You can just jot it down, write it down. Thursday, the practice of diligence. How you've trying to do everything the last 4 days. Practice of meditation, nalu, and wisdom. And so again, try feeling it out, practicing, and I'm going to ask Reverend Brennan to collect your homework on next Sunday and see how you do. But, and so that's work for you. Higan, to me, is a very special, especially spring Higan is important for me because my daughter, Reverend Brennan, reminded me about, I have children, that's right. They're all old and grown up by now, so I know some of you can remember, I remember when they were this small running around, because I brought them a couple of times to Kailua. They would sit in the back and, the pews were just their height, their size, yeah. And they wanted to climb on the plumeria tree outside. But, and so my son, who is, how old is he? 25 now? 25. His name is Chase. He's doing his master's degree in electrical engineering. And hopefully someday he'll move out of the house and get a job. And my daughter, Kylie, she's how old now? She was born on March 20, which is that year was Higan, or was the equinox. And so I I probably told you this before. I thought of naming her Higan, as her Japanese name. But my wife didn't think that was so good. So I said, okay, because I got to choose she chose their English names, and I chose their Japanese names. So her name I chose as Harumi. So Harumi in Japanese, Haru means spring, and mi means trouble. No. Mi is utsukushi, or beautiful, or pretty, or beauty. So spring beauty. Of course, that was before she was born. Tomorrow would be her. I'm supposed to be easy to remember. It's 23, right? She was born in 2000. So she's 23, and she's an electrical engineer working in LA. And so she's living a life with freedom, away from her parents, making her own money, spending all her money, but that's another sermon to do. So that's my children. And so tomorrow will be the first birthday that she's been away. So we plan to celebrate it. We're going to go out to dinner without her. Or maybe we should send her the bill. But, that my children. And of course, my wife, Cheryl, she's a school teacher. I think she might make her 30 years this year. So hopefully she can retire, or waiting for retire, or not. Since I'm retired, she can still work, right? That's about my family. But thank you all today for inviting me. Don't forget, don't be like my wife's students and tell them, when you come next Sunday, the dog ate my homework. In closing, as we remember on this Higan and this Remembrance Day, for those who've passed away, let us close in gassho. Put our hands together in meditation. Today, as we observe this Higan and Remembrance Day, may we continue to be guided and blessed by all those who've passed away before us, those who have crossed over to the other shore, and now watch over us and guide us, help us in our journey of life, always embraced by the Nembutsu, Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion. And for this, we are truly grateful. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, you know what comes next? Do you remember what comes next? That's right. All right, everybody. Where's everybody? Oops, sorry. If you guys have more people, I'm gonna need a bigger camera. All right, ready? Okay, everybody wave. Okay, 1, 2, 3. One more. Where's my face? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Allen. Please rise for the Gatha, Ondokusan 2, and Gratefulness 2. The words will be on the screen.
Oh
continue to stand for the Nembutsu?
Passions, I cannot perceive the light that grasps me, yet the great compassion without tiring illumines me always. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Please be seated. We now have announcements. Our President, Dennis.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Allen, for that wonderful message. So tomorrow is Ohigan, and happy birthday to your daughter. Thank you, Reverend Bert, for leading our service. Thank you, Reverend Barbara. Also, thank you, Jen, for being our MC, Prudence for being our greeter, Lisa and Joy playing the piano, and Cynthia for ringing the kansho. Today's refreshment is by Team B, led by Dana. We have two guests. Actually, they're repeat visitors. Christy, welcome back.
Thank you.
And Tyler. He has a beautiful car. That's the only way I'm going to remember him. The car. Okay, several announcements. Don't forget, unfortunately, you don't have to worry about your homework. No service next week. Joy, don't make that kind of suggestions. Okay, next week we're going to have the Hongwanji Spring Bazaar that'll be held at the Hawaii Betsuing. And so, among other things, Windward Buddhist Temple will have a number of items we'll be selling, and whatever we sell will come directly to the temple as our money making. The flyer out in the bulletin board, there's a QR code. If you put up your camera to it, you can go directly to the Betsuing webpage. And they're doing a pre-sale of makizushi and Hawaiian plate. Oh, there it is. So they're actually only being sold via the web. However, I do have the sushi tickets, and it's $7.75 on the web for the sushi. With me, it's only $7. So if you plan to be there, come and see me today. Okay, I have to turn in whatever I don't sell by Tuesday. Okay, among other things that Windward is selling, we have the takoang, bitter melon namasu. We have a variety of manju. And we're also going to have some non-food items that Cynthia and her fundraising committee has put together. So if not for anybody else, just come see our table at the bazaar. But there'll be food, like besides the Hawaiian plate, there'll be beef stew and some other delicious food. So I think it's worthwhile being there. There's also going to be a mini rummage sale. So the Betsuing ladies, I guess, had collected a whole bunch of different things. So that'll be held in the next building, the annex, the temple annex. So in conjunction with the Spring Bazaar, we're going to have to prepare the bitter melon namasu and the takuang. So that the bitter melons will be prepared Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning, and the takuang 8 o'clock Thursday morning. So those of you who can help, please, especially Thursday, we need a lot of bodies. If you are interested, please see Cookie, can give you some details, okay? The manju will be made by Janet, Merle, and myself on Saturday from 8 o'clock. Those who want to help make manju, please see Janet or myself. Today we start our semi-annual food drive to benefit the Hawaii Food Bank. So there's a box right outside the office there, or boxes, I should say. So as Reverend Allen talked about dana, selfless giving, please selflessly give to the Hawaii Food Bank. Okay, this collection will be until April 16th. Now, no Sunday service next week. April 2nd, the first Sunday in April, no Sunday service here again. That'll be the joint Hawaii Buddhist Council service to celebrate Buddha Day or Hanamatsuri. That'll be held at the Jodo Mission of Hawaii in Lower Makiki. Let's see. We will have our own Buddha Day service on the 9th of April. And that service we'll have jointly with the Kaneohe Higashi Hongwanji. So we'll be here to celebrate the birth of the Buddha. And as we do every year, besides offering incense, we'll have the baby Buddha that you pour sweet tea over it. The sweet tea is to represent the rain. On the day that he was born, there was a gentle rain of sweet rain, I guess. And that is going to be represented by the sweet tea. Okay. And I'm sure the decorations that Prudence is planning to do, it'll be as beautiful, if not more beautiful than it was last year. Okay, for today, after the service, after refreshments, we're going to have a special activity. Our own Yishin, she's evidently an artist. She uses the brush, Japanese is sumi. I'm not sure what the Chinese name for the brush is, but but she'll be doing a demonstration back here after refreshments of doing Chinese characters, but also drawings. Yeah, she showed me some samples of things, and it's beautiful. So I think if you're interested, you can come on over and watch her do it. She may let you try and see, bring out the artist in you as well. Okay. All right, Cynthia has a couple, I think, announcements.
Good morning. I just have one announcement. It's actually a reminder. This coming Friday, amongst all the other things that we have to do, like bitter melon, takuan, manju, but this Friday at 1:30, we have our first Bon Fitness class. So it's going to be for 1 hour. So it's free. We have a professional instructor. So if you can join us, please, please come. Other people from the Kaneohe Higashi Hongwanji will also be joining us. So please be there this Friday, 1:30, here at the temple. Thank you.
I understand it's actually free for members, but even if you're not members, see Cynthia, and I'm sure she'll sign you up, okay? I think that's going to be a very interesting and fun way to do exercising, kind of like dancercise. This is, how do you say it, bonsercise? So that'll be interesting. Any other announcements? Yes, Bob.
I have a few announcements. Reverend Brett donated 21 children's book. I haven't had time to log it in, so can you wait until next week? But you can look at it, but don't borrow yet. And David Kagawa donated 4 books that's non-Buddhist. It's on the left side. That you can borrow anytime without signing. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Okay, now it's time for refreshments. Before we do, let's have words of thanksgiving. It's on page 126 of the red service book. We are truly grateful for this wonderful food, a gift of life. May we share its benefits with all beings. As we partake of this food, let us remember Amida Buddha's compassion, which surrounds all people and all forms of life. Namo Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu. Thank you very much.